What's up, agents? Welcome to this week's deck profile, and this time we're going to be talking about our Great Legend Black WarGreymon deck. This is basically an updated, or massively updated, version of the deck that I posted a few months ago for 1.5. I know I was telling you guys I was going to post an updated version of the deck, and I basically completely took it apart. So I apologize for not updating you on the 1.5 version, but this is the BT4 version, which I still think could be labeled as a budget deck. Maybe it all depends on where the market's at by the time this video goes up for some of these cards. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. We're gonna start with the Digitama. We got our Kapurimon from the starter deck. We're only running one of them, and then we're running 4 of the Kapurimon from BT2. Now, this Kapurimon for the starter deck, the new one, if the Digimon has blocker, it gains 1000 DP. And then the other one is while the Digimon has reboot, it gains 1000 DP. Now, you could run this the opposite way. You could go 4 of these, 1 of these. It's just that I've found, for me, this combo works the best because reboot is used more than the blocker benefit or keyword skill. So that's why I run more of the reboot. But you could do this another way, and you could use it with blocker. It's just that this version of the deck, for me, is a lot more aggro than your typical black deck. So having blockers is great. It's important. Don't get me wrong. But we're trying to play an aggro style black deck. Now, just a disclaimer, I have not used this deck in a tournament or anything like that. I've really just been using it with friends and in more casual matches online. And it's been doing relatively well against various decks and playstyles. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into our rookies. We're only running 2 Commandramons. It's 2-drop, super simple. I mean, there's really nothing special to say about it. It's Commandramon. Then we're running 4 of the new Agumon from Starter Deck 5. He's a blocker, 3-drop. Really, really simple, really easy. I'm not running him. I'm running him over Gotumon because he can attack, and because this deck is not so blocker focused that having the Gotumon, while cool, just didn't seem necessary in this iteration of it. And I'm trying to be more true to kind of a Black WarGreymon setup and a Greymon setup, which you'll see in a bit. Next, we're running 3 of the amazing Toy Agumon that grants reboot. He is one of the linchpins of this deck because with the combination of him with, of course, the Kapurimon that boosts Digimon with reboot, this comes up a lot. Then we are running 4 of Sunrizamon. Sunrizamon's great because the Digimon, you're going to be Digi-Bursting a lot with that Black WarGreymon, and you can take advantage of that and continue to go into your combos by using him and getting this back to your hand. That's the level 3s. Again, I think it's pretty straightforward. This deck isn't as quote-unquote big brain, I guess, as the yellow deck that we did last week. I don't even know if I'd call that big brain, but, you know. Let's go into our level 4s. So, of course, we are going to run the 1-drop blocker for black that came out in the starter deck. We are running 4 Dark Tyrannomon. It's pretty simple, straightforward why. He's a 1-drop blocker. Or 1 cost to evolve blocker. That comes up a lot. And he's incredibly useful for that reason. Next, we're running 4 of the Greymon from BT2. He is a 2-drop evolution, 4-drop play cost, and of course he gives your Digimon with reboot jamming. This will be incredibly useful for that Black WarGreymon. Even though he has Digi-Burst, on that first swing, having jamming could be, well, not could be, it is really nice. Next, we have 4 Guardramon. You could take out Guardramon for, I think, anything that you want. I have him in here as blocker insurance, basically, just in case I need to have, 12 blockers throughout the course of the game. But I think you could change him for another level 4 Black Digimon and be fine. This is just the way that I found for me that works best. So let's go ahead and go to some level 5s. Alright, our level 5s. Now, this is going to be a shocker. We're playing 4 Metal Greymon, if I can pull them all out. 4 Metal Greymon from the starter deck. He's great. 3-drop evolution, 6 play costs, which is cool. But what he's awesome at is when you Digivolve on top of him, you can turn any of your other Digimon into a blocker. A lot of times you'll use it on himself, but you might use it on a level 6. One of your level 6s to give them blockers, specifically the Black WarGreymon. It can be great because now your opponent has a blocker to deal with out of nowhere that they may not have expected. That blocker ends at the end of your opponent's turn, but still. Next, we're playing 4 of Metal Greymon from BT2. This Metal Greymon has reboot naturally, and his inheritable gives any Digimon with reboot +1 security attack. Super straightforward. Again, this deck is mostly straightforward with its combos and its objectives. Now we can move right into level 6s. Level 6s in the deck. We're running 2 of their classic WarGreymon from BT2. He's reboot. He got blocker. Makes him awesome, especially if you can get him in that evolution line of the Greymon and Metal Greymon and Capremon at the bottom, because he's gonna have 12k. He can swing into security stack twice, and he's got jamming. Oh, and he'll reboot. So, you know, it's great for just taking down your opponent's security. Next, we are running the big boy of this deck, the 4 of Black WarGreymon with Digi-Burst 2. You're gonna get 3 attacks off of him minimum, because if you build up the jamming, the reboot, the security attack +1, that could be, you know, pretty useful. Yes, you'll only get that 1 swing in with that stack, because once you Digi-Burst 2, you're gonna have to get rid of 2 of those things. I usually get rid of the Capremon, and then I'll get rid of depending upon what I'm playing against, I'll either get rid of the jamming, or I'm gonna get rid of because you're going to need the level 3 Targamon to have reboot. Or I'll get rid of the Metal Greymon. It really just depends on what I'm kind of dealing with and what I think might be in the opponent's stack. But awesome card. I love this card. I think he's totally underestimated and totally underplayed. Because even if you don't have that crazy stack under him, you're going to get 3 attacks off with him, assuming he doesn't die when he swings into security. And that's great, because your opponent may not be expecting, when you drop him, oh crap, I'm going to have to deal with 3 different attacks. Now, for our level 7s, we're running 1 Chaosmon and Omnimon Ultra S. Chaosmon is an amazing combo extender, because if you've already expended all your attacks with the Black WarGreymon, drop Chaosmon on top of it, have Piercing, swing into whatever Digimon they have left, break presumably their last security, and then on their turn, they're left with nothing. Chaosmon is awesome. I mean, that's really the best way to describe it. Chaosmon is great. Ultra S, and we got the alternate art. Another beautiful Digimon. He'll allow you to Digi-Evolve everything by 1. With everybody Digi-Bursting and things now, and including for you, if you're piloting this deck, you got to watch. But you want to make sure that you take advantage of people Digi-Bursting and getting rid of some really good sources under their Digimon, so that you can Digi-Evolve them by 1 and then pop everything, generally speaking. He's self-explanatory. I think he might see more play, personally, as people start to use the Digi-Bursting mechanic. I think that people are going to give him a second look and go back and start dropping him in the deck. But it all depends. That's why I said, you know, when we talk about budget, this is the most expensive card in the deck. I think he's like $90 at the time of this recording for the secret rare alternate art version. I'm sorry, the alternate art version. The regular one I think might be like 80. I'm not sure. You guys have to look, because I'm sure by the time I post this, the price will be different anyway. So this is the most expensive card in the deck. And you don't need to get the alternate art version of him if you don't want to. Granted, his price is plummeted from what it used to be. And this guy is pretty cheap. I think you can get him for like $15. So, and you're only running 1 of him, or 2 technically. So that's $30 right there. But still, it's not terrible. It could be much worse. So, let's go ahead and get into our option cards. The option cards we're running is Breath of the Gods. You really just want to see this in your security. Now, granted, it can be really useful too, because you can give that Black WarGreymon reboot and kind of abuse that combo I'd mentioned before. And then you don't have to worry about Digi-Bursting the Targamon, because he's already got he's going to have reboot anyway from this card. But you want to see it in your security stack, because it stops your opponent's Digimon from attacking you for the turn, which is freaking awesome. Then we have Dark Side Attack. It's no longer Genocide Attack. Sad days. Lets you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the play cost of 7 or less. I mean, that's just nice. You're getting rid of blockers, and maybe you're getting rid of a level 5. So, I mean, that's not maybe. You probably can get rid of a level 5. Good card. Spider Shooter, we're Digi-Evolving your opponent by 1. Again, with people abusing Digi-Burst, if they get rid of that level 3 Digimon, you can get them down to the level 2. You basically just got rid of the Digimon. For anybody who doesn't know the ruling, if your opponent has, if you Digi-Evolve an opponent's Digimon and they have a level 2, no level 3, and it's level 4 on top, the whole Digimon's gone because the Digitama cannot stay on the board. So it's got to go, it gets discarded to the trash. So that is also cool if you can make somebody Digi-Evolve down to a Digitama, which is also why we are running 1 Infinity Cannon. I took it out of the previous version of the deck because it just seemed like a lot and it to pay the 6 cost, and it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. But now, with a few of the other cards that are running in this deck, Infinity Cannon can be really nice. And again, abusing the fact that people are using Digi-Burst. Let's go ahead and look at our Tamers. Now, our Tamers are, yeah, let's just get into it. We got Tai. I'm only running 1 Tai. This version of the deck actually does not have Joe in it. I know you guys remember me mentioning or showing that we were running, I think it was 2 Joes in the previous iteration of this deck because we were very blocker focused. But Tai in here, I mean, gives your black Digimon plus 1 KDP on your opponent's turn. That's just nice. And he's a memory tamer. Then we were running, guess, surprise, surprise, 3 Marcus Damon. Now, this guy comes up all the time. If you want to, this will give you access to Gaia Force. If you want to put Gaia Force in the deck and take out, let's say, Dark Side Attack or something else, you could, because now you have access to some red option cards. What makes Marcus so good? Well, you're running a bunch of Greymons. You tap this guy, you suspend him, and you gain a memory when your Greymon attacks. So, I mean, that's Greymon, that's Metal Greymon, that's WarGreymon, Black WarGreymon. I mean, you have, how many targets would that give you? So you're going to, with Marcus Damon, you would have 4, 8, 12, 14, and then, so you'd have at least, like, what, 18 targets that you can use for Marcus Damon. So that makes him great because, again, memory. From what I've seen and the more that I play this game, having that extra memory is so vital because it just lets you extend. And I'm big into extending combos and really trying to finish my opponent as quickly as I can. So that is why I would highly recommend running Marcus Damon. You don't have to. I mean, you could run Tai and some other Black Tamers like Izzy if you wanted. But Marcus is great for this reason. So anyway, guys, I'm really curious to see what your thoughts on this deck are. If you decide to play it as is, let me know how it does for you, and you know whether you like it and what adjustments you would make to the deck and what other decks you're excited to play in BT4. Anyway, guys, I will see you next week in the next Digimon video. Don't forget that we stream Monday through Friday starting about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that Monday is our dedicated Digimon day. Every Monday at 8 p.m. we play Digimon, so make sure you come through for that. And we talk about Digimon almost every stream. So, yeah, guys, I hope to see you there. Take care. Peace.